Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that work needed to be done because two, neither of the two commitments are visiting this weekend for various reasons. But it's a good, solid group. It's a good group to start off your year. So Traequan Fagan, the cornerback from Oxford, Alabama, 4-star. He's 75 overall in the composite. He's visiting 6'2" corners who can play like Fagan's. That's a need, and we talked about that already in the last couple of weeks of that hypothetical amazing recruiting class at cornerback. Hey, I would say for 3 of the 4 kids that were previously listed, it was Chris Graves, Jordan Allen. The other 2, I forget, but you guys can go back and watch videos. If you had Traequan Fagans instead of pretty much any of them in that group, that'll work for a top 75 kid who's a top 10 in his position at a great position of need. So he's a player who's going to be here. Omar Graham Jr. from Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale is an athletic linebacker who's really seen his profile rise. He's still a 3-star, but he's another kid who will probably end up as a 4-star after a really, really strong junior season, and just a bunch of teams after him, including Miami. So that's great. Chris Graves, a 4-star corner from Bishop Verot in Fort Myers. That's the same high school that Malik Curtis came from. Listed as an athlete, but he's more accomplished as a defensive back than Malik Curtis was coming out, but also a track star, but not as fast as Curtis. 6'1", 175 is Graves. And yeah, he's going to stick on the defensive side. You can watch some of his highlights from the spring game. I don't think that they threw at him. And I've seen him because I follow a lot of these recruits now, and everything. And he was, quoting the tweets and saying, "Yeah, they scared me, coach. They won't throw over here." Because the rider on the side, I think it was Andrew Ivins from 247, was on the sidelines. He's taking this video, and it's just in phase coverage, and the ball's not coming this way. So yeah, he quoted. He's like, "Yeah, they scared of me. They don't want to throw the ball over here because they know what's going to happen." And I love that attitude. So he's visiting also. So too also is Jordan Allen from Lafayette, Louisiana. Who's another cornerback recruit. He's another one that was listed in that prior group of 4. If we got these 4, would you be happy with that? Yes. So Jordan Allen is down this weekend. You have Anthony Jones from Henderson, Nevada. He's a big athlete, probably looking at either a tight end or defensive end, depending on how things break with him. But he's a big-bodied kid with, 6'5", 245 with athleticism and, shocking quickness for a man his size, as they once said about the mountain on Game of Thrones. So, yeah, he is another kid who's a 3-star who's visiting. Malik Agbo from Washington, Federal Way, Washington, so way, on the West Coast. 4-star offensive lineman, offensive tackle is about 6'6", 320. He would probably be the highlight, the headliner behind the 3 defensive backs already listed for this week, because Miami needs offensive linemen. And, hey, if you're coming all the way across the country for the first visit weekend that is available, that speaks volumes. Now, again, my personal rule or thought on the process is, for an elite out-of-state player such as Agbo, you need an unofficial visit and official visit to the school to really be considered real about things. So 2 different visits. So this is one, and this is huge, because the official visit is really where you can do some other things in the recruiting process and see movement. But even if, and I don't think this is going to happen, but let's pretend that Malik Agbo committed this weekend, right? He would need to return again in the fall for me to really say, okay, this is how this is going to go. But that's just me. Also, there's a defensive tackle from Fort Valley, Georgia, Quintel Jones, who is big and tough and physical and mean. And he, would be another player to plug in on the interior of Miami's defense, who's visiting this weekend. So I think you have a total, at least right now, expected of 7 visitors. Of that group, I would say Miami is probably in the best position, with probably Graves and Allen. But I don't think, obviously by getting them down here, you do have a connection with all of those guys. And hopefully this weekend is really leveraged to make moves. I always do the same thing every official visit weekend when I write the piece, which is going to go up on Friday, because Old habits die hard, and I'm off tomorrow, so I got time to write. Over under commitments 0.5. I said it like that every single official visit weekend. You can look back, and I've been doing this now coming up on 8-9 seasons of doing these visit previews and doing the same things. Way over 2+ commitments, over 1, under 0. And I always set the number at 0.5 or half a commit because I want to make you choose if you think something's going to shake. I don't necessarily, I hope that it does, because again, going back to the previous conversation from last week and the week before, 1 commit a week through the month of June now puts us at 6 commitments going into July 4th week and everything past that. I would like to see it, but I would like to wait and make sure that whenever these kids commit, they stick. But I'll set the number at 0.5 because I always do, and we'll see how it goes.